Hi, everybody. Welcome. We are here for our kind of holiday partners in Parkinson's meeting via Zoom. And I'm so excited to have my good friend Gina with me.
Hey, everybody. Happy holidays.
For those of you that don't know us, I am Shannon Condon. I'm a speech pathologist and I specialize in the treatment of Parkinson's disease. I'm LSVT Loud certified.
And my name's Gina Berger. I'm a physical therapist and also specialized in working with people with Parkinson's. I'm certified in the LSVT BIG treatment protocol. And Shannon and I have been what we call partners in Parkinson's for, it's going on close to 10 years now. So I think we're in like year 9 officially, but super proud that we're still doing this in 2020, different way, but really, really glad to be able to find a way to reach people.
Yep. So today we have a great presentation to show you. It was actually one that we had in 2019 and we had some inclement weather, so it got canceled. We didn't get to do it in person. So we're really excited to be able to bring it to you today and post it on our YouTube so that everyone can get some tips for making the holidays a little bit smoother and merry. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can see that presentation. All right, so today we're going to talk about making spirits bright, successful management of Parkinson's during the holidays. You ready, Gina?
I'm ready. All right, so the holidays, this year they're going to be different, but they can still be merry, joyful, busy, still so busy. How can we all be staying home but still feel so busy, right? Yes, and hopefully still full of family and friends in some way or another. It might be a different way of connecting this year. They can be stressful. Sometimes holidays can be lonely, expensive. Yes, feeling that for sure. Beautiful and cold, holy. I know our faith is a very, very important part of many of our lives. Sometimes holidays can be a little awful and frustrating, but they sure also can be so wonderful. So I thought that was a really interesting list of how so many different, almost opposing adjectives can exactly describe the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I just think too that with them being fun, it's fun to plan for holidays and to get together, but it can also cause a lot of stress, as we all know. And for those with Parkinson's disease, when we have stress in our life, our symptoms of Parkinson's can actually worsen. So sometimes people, when we're stressed out, we have an increased difficulty time with our movements. Sometimes we're not thinking as clearly and fluidly. Sometimes our sleep isn't as good as normal. All of this can kind of be disrupted sometimes by any stress in life, but particularly, the holiday stress that we have. So, I know not many of us will be traveling this year, but, probably likely we're going to be shopping, maybe mostly online. Family visits may look like this, but it can still be a really challenging time to keep consistent with your Parkinson's schedule. So, and even for care partners, sometimes it's hard to fit in just even taking care of yourself. So as Shannon and I go through this presentation, we're hopeful that we can kind of share some tips for both of you to make the holidays more enjoyable and less stressful. All right, so here are a few tips for people with Parkinson's and their care partners during the holidays.
All right, first tip, and I mean, if we could say it 1,000 times, we would allow extra time. Just pad that timeline that you have. Make sure you've got plenty of it. So I like this little cartoon. It says that Christmas smells like cinnamon and panic, because we all get to that point of Christmas where you don't want to wait until you're panicking because you have something to bake or something to make or something to wrap. Waiting too long means that you're more likely to get stressed and all that stress is going to make you rush, and rushing means that you are more likely to fall, or forget to take your meds, or get over fatigued, something like that. So take your time.
Absolutely. And then another thing too that we just want people to be mindful of is to ask for help. All these extra things and these extra chores that we have during the holiday time, make sure that you're not carrying that burden all yourself and allowing some of those Parkinson's symptoms to creep up on you. So delegate. You do part of the task, and maybe your care partner or other family members do part of the task. Divide the task in half, and just be clear to your loved ones and your friends and family what you need, and don't be ashamed or to ask for help, or think that it's something that you're just expected to continue to do. It's like I always say, not worth the risk to sacrifice your safety for just a holiday task. And one of the nice little things too that Shannon and I kind of recommend, people are always asking, what can we get you, for Christmas? And we really think a recommendation of services. So maybe you would want somebody to come and take care of your lawn. And believe it or not, there's holiday services that put up Christmas decorations and take them down. I know two different couples that have people that help with that. Things like a cleaning service and a car wash. So those are nice ways to kind of ask for help, to still be able to enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, because people are always asking for like gift ideas. And so you can alleviate, their feeling that they have to get you a gift, and your feelings of guilt with needing to ask for help. And you can just, both of those needs can be met. Nobody needs to feel guilty about anything.
That's right.
Know your limits. So you really need to have a good idea of just where those boundaries are. It's okay to say no. Again, like Gina was saying, we never want to sacrifice health and safety for the sake of traditions. Sometimes we get really hung up in traditions. I feel like maybe even more so here in the Midwest. And a tradition is a positive thing when it's a positive thing, when everyone enjoys it and it's healthy for a family. But if it's not healthy and it's not enjoyable, then it's no longer a tradition that serves a purpose. So please keep that in mind. Don't keep a tradition on life support if it's sacrificing your health, mental health, or physical health. Let friends and family know that you're just not going to be able to commit to everything this year or at any holiday time. Prioritize your time and energy. So kind of know your limits. Know, like, I have to be home by a certain time in order to rest. So this is what I need to get done before that time. And don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on what you can do. So what can you get done within your limits? How can you maximize the quality of your experience during the holidays?
Yeah, I really like those last 2 points the best. Just like you said about prioritizing your time and energy. I mean, we all know you only have so much of it. I only have so much of it. So use that time and energy, resourcefully, and don't get upset about what you're not getting done. Really, focus on what you're able to do. And it's amazing how that kind of turns like a glass half full, or vice versa, just the negative to the positive.
Yeah. And I think, as Gina's saying that, I'm really thinking about 2020 and the year we've had and what all of us have kind of had to adapt to. And Gina and I, as mothers, have definitely experienced this, focusing on what we can do instead of what we can't do, because we've had to change a lot of our traditions, birthday routines and school, first day of school things and last day of school things and graduations and all of the kind of traditions that we have throughout the year. We've had to change. And we talk a lot, Gina and I being friends, about some of the silver linings that we've found and some of the new experiences that we've discovered because we've been forced out of our routine. So there's a lot out there that you can do when you're focused on the positive.
Love that. Yes. So I kind of just alluded to that. I said that was one of my favorite points in what you were saying. And yes, be aware of your energy levels. So what we don't want is you guys to start running on fumes, because that's, again, when some of those Parkinson's symptoms can start to accelerate, and you can have a harder time moving and, not even almost realize that it's happening. So try to predict those on and off periods. Those of you who have periods of time of the day that are good, periods of time of the day that are more difficult, depending on your medication schedule or just, your symptoms. So try to plan your holiday task within those good times for you. Just be aware of fatigue levels. Listen to your body. It's what I tell every single patient with every single diagnosis, not just Parkinson's. I always say, listen to your body. So if you're feeling exhausted and fatigued, just lay down and take a half hour rest or so. It's amazing how that can kind of rejuvenate us. It's very, very important to try to maintain your sleeping schedule, even throughout kind of our interrupted holiday routine sometimes. And just, prioritize that rest so you can really be at your best when you are spending time with your family, and you can just feel more closer to 100%. I need to take that advice too. More rest during the holidays, people.
All right. Another one of your favorites.
Another one of my favorites. That's why I'm going to take 2 in a row. So please, the opposite of rest is moving. So don't forget to exercise. And I think I could speak for Shannon and myself both. It is easy to let go of our exercise routines during the holiday season. It's like, oh, I'm just going to watch another Hallmark Christmas movie. But please, make that a focus. And I hope that's been a priority for you guys in 2020, because it's just so important when you have Parkinson's, especially. I can miss a month of exercise probably a little more easier than somebody with Parkinson's can miss a month of exercise, but I'm not going to miss a month of exercise. I went to my spinning class last week, the night before Thanksgiving. I didn't want to, but I did it. So it's sometimes just the first thing that we drop when we have a full schedule, but you all know how good it makes you feel and how well it makes you move. So, and if you're having some close family over, make it a group activity. Maybe you want to go out and take a nice walk in the brisk air. Maybe they want to do some chair yoga that you're watching online. So try to incorporate some of that with those who are with you as well. And likewise with exercise, it can also help reduce some of those holiday stress levels we were talking about. Just some nice deep breathing sometimes, some meditation, some yoga stretches can really kind of help you, feel more, recentered.
Definitely. All right. This is one of my favorites. Create a to-do list and set reasonable goals for the day. So creating a to-do list, you want to kind of divide things into categories. You need to have urgent, things that have to be done very soon, important, so maybe things that aren't on a time schedule as much, but that are still really critical to you. And then things that it would be nice to get done, but the world's not going to end if you don't get it done. Though that's where you need to divide things so that you know how to prioritize. And you need to look at those critically. Not everything can be urgent. Not everything can be important. You have to move some things down on the list. So set goals for your well-being, as well as goals for presents that you're going to get wrapped or pies that you're going to get baked. So like today, I will keep consistent with my med schedule. Today, I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water, or I'm going to write 3 things that I'm grateful for this holiday season. You want to make sure you build that in to your goals, so that you don't lose sight of your health and what's really critical. Because If you lose sight of that, then you're going to lose all those goals that you've written down. Everything that's on your to-do list you're going to be unable to complete them.
Yeah. And it is amazing too, Shannon, like what a list like that can
Mm-hmm.
do to help you feel like productive in your day. So list making, if you're not a list maker, maybe start this holiday season. And I think you'll really feel that sense of accomplishment, like you've got some things done.
Yes, they are very satisfying to complete. They're helpful because a lot of times one of the multitasking challenges that we have in Parkinson's especially is memory. So holding on to those short-term memories of what I need to do while I'm doing other tasks. So write it down so you don't forget it. It gives us a focus. So again, not multitask. We're focused on a task on our list. It lightens the load. So you don't have to hold all those things in your short-term memory. You don't have to hold all those things in your attention because you know it's written down, you know where it is. And then it can help you decrease depression. Because a lot of people, what happens during the holidays especially, they get overwhelmed by the number of tasks that they feel like they have to do, and they feel like they're not accomplishing things. That overwhelmed feeling transitions into depression. A list, being able to mark things off your list and being able to quantify exactly how many things you have, it's a game changer. You'll be much happier for it.
Very true. Yes. So lists help minimize multitasking, as Shannon was just starting to say. And for anybody who's been a patient of mine, you know that multitasking is one of those things that we work on a lot in therapy, and Shannon as well. I know she works on some cognitive multitasking. So with Parkinson's disease, the very specific area, one of the very specific areas of our brain that's affected is actually our center that helps us do more than one thing at a time. So our multitask center. So it's harder for people with Parkinson's to do more than one thing at a time. And when I look at all these pictures on the screen, I'm like, yeah, the holidays are filled with multitasking, right? People are talking to you as you're walking and carrying a plate or gifts. People are hugging you and throwing off your balance, and little kids are jumping up. So, it's really, really important that you're aware of it, that you are at increased risk for falls when you've got more than one thing going on at a time. So just kind of use some caution, especially when, like I said, when you're carrying plates of food or drinks. Be careful while you're walking and talking, moving around people. If you're picking up gifts and carrying them over to under the tree, and even just when you're in other people's homes, you may not be as familiar with those floor transitions. So just being extra cautious when you're changing from carpet to tile or vice versa, so you're not tripping. So just in general, a good tip that I like to give to patients and care partners, and the more that we could share this with our family and our friends who we spend time with, the better that they know how to help you too. So try to avoid, doing like a physical load, like walking is one of the most common ones. Walking while doing like a cognitive load. So like thinking about something like, oh, I need to go to the pantry and get sugar, flour, and or talking, that would also be like a cognitive load, having a conversation. Mm-hmm. Then add a manual load on top of that, like carrying something, a present or a plate. All of those things piled up on top of each other, a physical load, a cognitive load, and a manual load, sometimes can be a recipe for a mishap. So just take your time, try to do one thing at a time. I tell people that if people are having a conversation with you while you're walking, fine, just stop and have that conversation, then continue to walk again. And so those are just some good tips. And again, these are great things to kind of share with family members because they just might not be aware of how that does load the Parkinson's brain.
Yeah. And with our inability to kind of get together in large gatherings, we may, you may not run into a lot of these quite as much this year. But another one I really want to mention is driving and like Christmas lights. So this is a really popular time of year for a driver to be driving and people in the car, passengers saying, "Oh, did you see that? Look at that. Oh my gosh." Or, "There's a deer over there in the field." You really, when you're driving, you need to focus on driving,
Right.
because that's a multitask in itself. So you want to try to not add other cognitive loads to it.
Yeah, that's a great tip. Very good.
All right. Planning tips. Do you want to talk about this one? I think this was yours, Gina.
Sure. Yeah. So again, we're not really sure what Christmas is going to look like for everybody this year. So some of these things might not take as much planning to, get together. But just if you are planning a small gathering with your family, try to plan events maybe during the best time of your day. So maybe during the middle part of your day to allow you enough time to get ready, but then likewise enough time to like kind of wind down from that event. Trying to keep your schedule as normal as possible. Those holiday parties that get later in the evenings, then we eat and drink later in the evenings, and it just kind of gets our Parkinson schedule off a little bit. And like Shannon mentioned earlier, don't feel obligated to keep up with all of the traditions, or to take on all of those chores yourself. You've got to look out for your health first. So that's just another good reminder as you go through the planning phases. And as well, just to discuss like the holiday celebrations with your relatives in advance, and maybe they can help share in some of the preparations. I know like this kind of goes along with tradition. Well, like you've always made the ham and the turkey and the mashed potatoes. Like every year, grandma makes that. So it's like, well, you know what? Maybe it's okay if we, kind of delegate
Pass
one
the
of those.
torch. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They love you for you. And so it's okay.
Aww.
Everyone's still going to be happy, and everyone's still going to be family, even if it doesn't look exactly the same.
That's right.
All right. Traveling, we left it in here because who knows when we'll be traveling again. But if in the future you get to travel, for future reference, you would want to avoid peak travel times. So you don't want to be in the airport when everybody else is in the airport. So when you're scheduling your flights, a lot of times you can call and talk to a person to schedule those flights and ask them when the least busy times will be. But you definitely don't want to go like the day before Christmas, the day before Thanksgiving. Those are always very, very busy travel times. You want to keep plans simple. So if you're going to another city, another state, you want to ask whoever's hosting you, please do not plan things, the whole day, every day. Very simple plans, lots of time for flexibility. So again, allow extra time.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your medications with you. So whether you're traveling by car, plane, train, hot air balloon, whatever, don't pack your medications away. Keep them handy in a purse or a small bag that's going to be with you, that's more accessible, and that's on your person, because bags get lost, bags get stolen. You're less likely to lose it if it's on your person or in your glove compartment. Advise service and hospitality staff that you're traveling with someone that has Parkinson's or that you have Parkinson's, so that if you have any special needs, they can arrange for services. So if you know that you can't walk the airport and you're going to need transport to the gate, then make sure you call ahead and arrange for that and let them know. A lot of times hotels can make sure that you have a handicap floor or a handicap room on the bottom floor, so that you don't have all the thresholds that normal rooms have. All right. And care partners, like we cannot forget about our care partners, because we love you so much. Please remember that it's your holiday too. Remember that the holidays are an opportunity to share time with people you love. And we want you, all these tips that we gave to people with Parkinson's, we really want you to take them to heart too, because we don't want you to take on double of all of the task in order to ease your partner that has Parkinson's. You really need to take care of yourself. You need to set limits and make sure that you are just honest with people and tell them, I really need to control stress this holiday season and maintain a positive attitude. So prepare to deal with that post-holiday letdown in your house. We all kind of get it. I know Gina and I get it too. Like, yeah. Oh, we have to take down the tree, and now it's going to be the long January to spring, slump of snow and slush. But arrange for maybe some in-home care, maybe some home health, and now we don't really go out to see movies right now, but maybe put some movies on, or go get a manicure or a massage or something like that, to just give yourself a little extra grace.
That's right. You definitely deserve it, and you should definitely do that for yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think to the people who in general maybe perhaps experience the most difficulty with holidays are probably those who haven't really planned or prepared for the challenges. So we're hopeful that kind of going through some of these tips will kind of help everybody prepare, like physically, socially, and emotionally, to get through this wonderful, crazy, busy, exhausting season, right? All of those adjectives we talked about at the beginning. And then we couldn't really, we had to modify this presentation just a little bit to kind of make it a little bit more 2020. So as we've said, it's going to be a little bit of a different season this year. But here's some of our 2020 tips for a successful holiday season. So we just want to remind everybody there is so much joy and so much cheer yet still that can be shared, even if it has to be shared in a different way. It's funny because Shannon and I did this little pre-session. So Shannon's at her house and I'm at my house. And we ended up just talking and visiting and socializing. And then here we had used up all of our minutes on Zoom. So Shannon had to reschedule another meeting so then we can actually do this presentation with you all. And we decided that it really is a great way to meet and to interact. So just know that there is so much joy yet to be shared, even if you do have to share it virtually. Make your gatherings more intimate and special. If you have, your kids and their immediate family, maybe assign them each times where they can come and stop by with which, maybe your daughter and her husband and their kids, come for this time frame, and then your son and his wife and their kids. So maybe you all can't be together, but you can enjoy some very special, intimate time with some small groups like that. And then, too, consider a Zoom or a FaceTime. There's all kinds of different ways that you can meet now. I know one of the really neat things that Zoom did over Thanksgiving is they made all of the meetings unlimited time, which I thought was pretty cool. So I imagine that they'll do that as well for Christmas. So
don't be intimidated by the technology. You can do it. I promise you can do it.
Yes. Or a grandkid can help you. Yes. They all learned so much in online school. We all had to figure it out technology wise. So believe me, you've got people that can help you get this.
Someone can walk you through it. Call me and I'll walk you through it.
Yes.
You can get through it. And you can get it down.
Yes, for sure. And even just maybe we know 2020 has been different in so many ways. So make your holiday 2020 different. Start a new tradition. I saw one about making the best of and the worst of list for 2020. And I think this could get pretty comical as far as, worst of, but I think just it can also make you have a very grateful and full heart too, to list some of those things that's been the best of. Like, I've really enjoyed some of the family activities that we've done this year. Some of the outdoor things that maybe we wouldn't have done otherwise, because we were so tired of being in the house. So we just bundled up and went out and did something. So you can consider that. Or I even saw some like minute to win it games that were kind of like 2020 style. So the one, it was so funny. These people were trying to put their mask on, like their surgical, but they had mittens on. So it was just very humorous. So you could have a little competition, and that could even be done virtually. So if you guys have any creative ideas or anything you want to share, Shannon and I would love to highlight that. Maybe we'll have to do a funny, Shannon. I think we'll put ourselves up to the challenge. And
I know for Thanksgiving, we always go around the table and say something that we're thankful for. That's our usual Thanksgiving tradition. But this year I put the stipulation that it had to be something that happened this year. It had to be something you were thankful for this year, because it's been really easy to be negative and mad about everything that's happened this year. So we really wanted to think about the things that we were thankful for and the blessings that came, even from a year that gave us some pretty rotten stuff too.
For sure. Yeah.
So we really hope that these tips make your holidays even brighter, and that you can create kind of a simple, and just a really great time together and be merry. So, and as always, we are so thankful that you allow us to be part of your family. And we are just truly grateful for each and every one of you. We've said it before, but you are truly all gifts to Gina and I. And we miss you all so much. We miss the hugs. We miss the laughter. We miss all the interaction. So this is us making do, but please know that we really do miss you very much.
We do. And, know that we're still here for you. You can always reach out. You can call us. I think we've had our cell phones listed. You can email us at the PD Partners Gmail account. And likewise, if you are feeling yourself go backwards or feeling yourself struggle to stay motivated to keep moving well, please reach out to Shannon and I, because we can get some therapy out to your house. And, even if you don't live close to us, Shannon and I actually have a lot of colleagues now who are LSVT certified in really different areas around this region. So we might know somebody, is basically what I'm trying to say. But the most important thing is don't ever give up. Don't you ever, ever, ever give up. And if you feel yourself heading down that path, you need to call Gina and Shannon's hotline, because we will always be here for you.
Always. And so, our newsletter, we'll keep doing our newsletter, keep sending you content. And I always make sure that our numbers are there in the newsletter, so that if you need to call us or you need to email us or whatever, we're there for you. And we just keep hoping and praying that we can all be together again soon. And I really look forward. I know that's going to be just, that's going to be a rowdy meeting. The first
together. Yes, we might just eat and talk. We might not even have content that first meeting. It might just be a giant happy hour. So I can't wait.
One thing we wanted to mention, in the newsletter for December, we're going to send out some holiday gift ideas, because we know that you do get a lot of questions when you have Parkinson's about what can I get you? And so a couple things that Gina and I wanted to mention on top of the services, not just services to help you around the house, but things like yoga and massages and getting your hair done, those kind of services that kind of pamper you. Those are always good things to ask for. And if someone asks me what they can get their mom or dad, those are always things that I say. And then my other favorite thing is the Echo shows from Amazon, the things that you see on TV where people say, Alexa, tell me the weather. I just really love them. I find them very useful for people of all ages. And the show, actually, you can kind of FaceTime, you can see people on. So it's a really nice way to interact with your family if they have one as well.
Yes. So lots of good gift ideas. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. And thank you again for letting us be a part of your life. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing holiday season. I know you all will. So take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.